from WYDO, this is NewsChannel 12 at 10 on Fox Eastern Carolina.
Construction on a new public safety complex is underway in one of our coastal towns. How it could affect the coast and its residents. A school district in our area on the hunt for new workers, the position you can apply for and how. A 30-year-old tradition in Emerald Isle canceled for the second time. Why organizers pulled the plug. But first, good evening, Eastern Carolina. We're going to start with that public safety complex. Beach has started construction on their new public safety and administration complex. News Channel 12's Megan Scarano was there today. She spoke with residents to find out how they feel about the new building.
Will cost the town $7 million to build a new 2-story building. I talked to residents who say it's about time that Atlantic Beach upgrade its town buildings.
A block away from where I live.
Kevin Henry has stayed up to date on the construction of the new public safety and administration complex.
I think it's a good thing. I mean, the existing building where the police and fire are now, they're old.
The new 20,000 square foot facility will house the town's police, fire, and administrative offices all under one roof.
It's needed. The old one was outdated. They're really cramped into the space that they were in. This is going to give them a lot better facilities to work through.
Some residents who did not want to be on camera told me they had a concern about the look of the new building, while others say it's not about looks, it's about functionality.
The building is designed for emergency services, AKA police and fire department. It doesn't need a beachy look.
Carol Bennett walks along the boardwalk in Atlantic Beach. She says she supports a new building as long as it doesn't take away from any beach area.
What's so special about Atlantic Beach is that it's small and it's not enormously built up, and I want that to stay that way.
The new building will be built where the existing site is on West Fort Macon Road. Mayor Trace Cooper said in a town newsletter, "It's time for us to invest in updated and code-compliant facilities for our first responders and other staff who do so much to keep our town safe." And some residents agree.
Their attitude about working for the town, not that it's bad now, but I think it will be better. I mean, if you work in an old, outdated facility, and all of a sudden you've got something new, I think you'll do a better job just because your attitude will be better.
The town hall and the police department have moved to a space in the Atlantic Station Shopping Center until construction is completed, which is expected to take 1 year. In Atlantic Beach, I'm Megan Scarano with News Channel 12.
Agents with our state bureau investigation are looking into the death of a Pelican County inmate who died at the Pelican Correctional Institution last night. Officials with the North Carolina Department of Public Safety say the inmate pulled a fire in John Autry. County correctional staff report petty incident Saturday evening. Staff say they were able to calm him down before he spiraled into medical distress and became unresponsive. Now, staff members say they did perform CPR on Autry until paramedics got there, who did continue trying to save that man's life. Autry was declared dead just before 9 p.m. Autry has had multiple felonies and was serving a sentence for drug possession. He was due for release in December of 2021.
And we have seen a cool night here across eastern North Carolina. Clouds have started to break up, which is great news. Going to allow those temperatures, though, to continue to drop here as we head throughout the next couple of hours. All of us, though, compared to, let's say, yesterday, this time we are seeing those clouds break up. Great news for us. However, like I said, it's going to allow those temperatures here to continue to fall. As we go throughout the rest of the night, though, we're going to see clouds break up. Those temperatures continue to drop, so we're definitely going to want the heat on tonight. As we check out our current temperatures there, you can see our full graphic. 32 degrees right now in New Bern. All of us checking in right about that freezing mark. So let's say compare this to yesterday at this time. We were talking those temperatures in the mid to upper 20s. Going throughout the rest of your evening should be clear and cold, but then waking up tomorrow morning, not going to need the umbrella. You can leave that at home. Nothing to worry about for your morning tomorrow. 31 degrees there by about 4 o'clock. We'll keep clear skies and then increasing clouds there as we head throughout your early morning tomorrow, but then we start to pick up on better rain chances here as we head into your late afternoon. If you want to head out the door tomorrow morning, first of all, I would grab some coffee or something to keep you warm. 32 degrees, increasing clouds for your start, and then I'll walk you through future track here. We see those clouds continue to increase there by about lunchtime. We should be good to go. Increasing rain chances, though, as we head into your afternoon. And if you want to have kind of a safe bet, I would say after about 4 or 5 o'clock is when we'll start to pick up on that increased moisture. And then we start to see those clouds and the moisture continue to clear out here of eastern North Carolina into tomorrow afternoon. Coming up, we'll show you the full track of that system and look ahead to the rest of your week, where we have some pretty calm weather, Kate, here as we go throughout the extended forecast. All that here in just a few minutes.
The Police Department is searching for a 7-year-old boy named Rome Robinson of Bladen County. Police say the boy's father, Sean Derek Robinson, is the one who took him. The father is from Kingston. The police don't issue a warrant for his arrest. If you know the whereabouts of Rome Robinson or Sean Derek Robinson, you can contact the Kingston Police Department.
The National Desk covers America's news now.
Live across America with breaking news at the Live Desk.
Nearly 4,000 National Desk journalists covering America.
The National Desk, starting January 18th on Fox Eastern Carolina. News and weather with Alexis Cruz and Les Still. 7 a.m. every weekday on Fox Eastern Carolina.
President Trump ordered flags be lowered to half-staff to honor U.S. Capitol Police officers Brian Sicknick and Howard Liebengood, who were both on duty when a mob of protesters stormed the Capitol on Wednesday. Off-duty police officers from Capitol Hill and D.C. Metro lined the streets today to watch the procession for Officer Brian Sicknick. Brian now shows us how he is remembered.
With flags lowered to half-staff, the Capitol Hill community is reeling over the death of a respected police officer, 42-year-old Brian Sicknick. But with their sorrow, some, including members of Congress, are also expressing anger.
My heart goes out to Officer Sicknick's family. There are a lot of people who have Officer Sicknick's blood on their hands.
The way that they went out or the way that he died was unnecessary.
Capitol Hill police say Officer Sicknick was injured on Wednesday while, quote, physically engaging with protesters, that he then returned to his division office and collapsed. He died late Thursday. The youngest of 3 sons, born and raised in South River, New Jersey, Brian Sicknick is being called a hero by his family. In a statement sent to CNN, the family saying he wanted to be a police officer his entire life. As a means to that end, they say, he joined the New Jersey Air National Guard. That branch says Sicknick joined in 1997, was deployed to Saudi Arabia and Kyrgyzstan, and served in a Security Force Squadron, the Air Guard's military police. Sicknick was honorably discharged from the New Jersey Air National Guard in 2003 and joined the Capitol Hill Police in 2008. Capitol Hill police say Sicknick most recently served in the force's First Responders Unit. One former Capitol Hill officer says the job is dangerous even under normal circumstances.
Every day is your life is at danger. It's no promise that you're going to come home the next day or the same day that you go out. Every officer that swears in take the job very serious. Protect Congress.
Officer Sicknick and his colleagues, though by most accounts overwhelmed by the rioters, are drawing praise from members of Congress who they fought to protect.
Many of our Capitol Police just acted so bravely and so with such concern for the staff, for the members, for the capital of the United States. Many of them, and they deserve our gratitude.
We were all very fortunate that the Capitol Hill police that were there were thinking as quickly as they had. If they had automatic weapons, they could have killed hundreds of members of Congress.
Now, one of the men who helped prevent that horror is being remembered by his family for his empathy, his commitment to rescuing dogs, his love of the New Jersey Devils hockey team. Brian Sicknick had no children, but lived with his girlfriend of 11 years.
3 more arrests have been made in the Wednesday Capitol riots. The man caught on video chasing a black Capitol police officer during the riot faces 5 federal charges. He's 41-year-old Doug Jensen of Des Moines, Iowa. He appears to be the person in the QAnon shirt chasing the officer with a mob behind him. Eric Munchel and Larry Brock of Texas are also facing several charges for their participation. The 2 were seen with paramilitary gear, plastic restraints, and an item in a holster during the riots. And new video shows violence against police officers during the storming of the U.S. Capitol. Take a look at this. This video from a freelance photographer shows rioters beating a police officer. Now, if you look closely there, you can see one person pull the officer to the ground. That's when the mob begins beating him, stomping on the officer, even hitting him with a pole carrying the American flag. One protester pulled off the officer's helmet, which indicated he was a member of the D.C. Metro Police Force. And new to us tonight, the Emerald Isle St. Patrick's Day Festival, a 30-year-old tradition, is now canceled due to COVID-19 concerns. Festival organizers say they made that difficult decision to cancel the event, originally scheduled for March 13th, based on guidance from state health officials who are advising against large gatherings until more people have been vaccinated. Organizers say they are looking forward to hopefully hosting the event next year, when the threat to public safety has lessened. And the North Carolina Aquarium at Pine Knoll Shores has been certified as a sensory-inclusive facility. The new certification means employees at the aquarium are now better prepared to assist guests with sensory sensitivities. Culture City, a nonprofit organization devoted to sensory accessibility and acceptance, awarded the aquarium with that certification. Aquarium staff say they attended online training on how to recognize guests with sensory needs and how to handle a sensory overload situation. The aquarium can now provide sensory bags to guests who may feel a little overwhelmed. Officials say the bags come with noise-canceling headphones, fidget tools, verbal cue cards, and weighted lap pads. Well, some lawmakers are calling for President Trump's impeachment after the violence in our nation's capital. We'll take an in-depth look at what that process will look like next.
This coronavirus surge requires additional American resolve. Wear a mask, save lives. Social distance, fights transmission. Wash your hands, avoid the disease. Together, let's make the sacrifice to stop the spread of COVID-19.
Your neighbor needs you, each person, each time. We stand America. United we stand. We stand America. United we stand.
Less than a week after the deadly siege on the U.S. Capitol, lawmakers blaming President Trump for the violence now say they want him held accountable. There are plans to present an impeachment resolution this week, and reporter Britt Conway has a look ahead at what that process could look like.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol. You'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength.
Now it's Democrats promising to show strength.
You must voice disapproval of what the president did.
And a number of Republicans have said they want the president to leave office.
What I've heard from fellow Republicans is that they've had enough.
Others worry pushing impeachment will only deepen the divide.
It's like throwing gasoline on the fire. And I just think we really need to focus on having a very peaceful transition of power. We need to focus on unity. We need to focus on taking responsibility for what happened on Wednesday.
The impeachment resolution could be introduced as soon as Monday.
It may be Tuesday or Wednesday before an action is taken, but I think it will be taken this week.
But that doesn't mean it'll get sent to the Senate right away.
The impeachment of the president to remove him from office clearly is not going to happen between now and the last day he's in office. This is more of a long-term punishment of the president.
And holding off on sending the resolution to the Senate would keep the impeachment proceedings from bogging down the early days of Biden's presidency.
Let's give President-elect Biden the 100 days he needs to get his agenda off and running.
Allowing time to get an economic relief package passed and Biden's top nominees confirmed. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
We are also learning House lawmakers may have been exposed to someone testing positive for COVID-19 while they sheltered at an undisclosed location during the Capitol siege on Wednesday. Now, the Capitol's attending physician notified all lawmakers today of the virus exposure and urged them to be tested. The infected individual wasn't named.
Hopefully you had a great end to your weekend. We saw a fairly nice Sunday, I would say. Lots of sunshine today. It was cool, but you know, we'll take it where we can, that sunshine. We are tracking several things here in the weather department. We have more cold temperatures on the way for your night tonight. Clouds start to increase for our day tomorrow, and that's out ahead of our next weather maker. And in all honesty with you, it's not looking like a big deal as far as rainfall for us, but we'll talk into Monday night and Tuesday afternoon. A few showers that'll move their way through, which we'll show you here in just a second. All of us are clear, though. We're seeing those nice clear skies here across all of the Carolinas. Nothing to worry about. You have to go all the way back toward Atlanta to talk any rainfall. Zoom in here, you can see with current Doppler radar not showing anything. They're just kind of struggling to pick up on any rainfall whatsoever for us. You can rest easy in your night tonight, but what I will say is you're going to want the heat on for your overnight hours tonight. It's definitely going to be chilly. We made it up here into the low 50s for your day today. We should be right about 54 degrees for this time of year, so slightly warmer than where we were yesterday, and so not too bad as far as the temperatures were concerned today. We'll see them drop into the overnight hours tonight. Those clear skies and very light winds are going to allow them here. I think low 30s by the time you're waking up tomorrow morning. Not talking any rainfall issues, though, for your day tomorrow, for out the door tomorrow morning. So not going to need the umbrella headed out the door to work and school. But what I will say is, just to be convenient, you may want to toss it in the back of your car because we do have rainfall for your drive home tomorrow, probably about 4 or 5 o'clock in your afternoon. Temps in the low 30s there, some upper 20s, so it's definitely going to be a cold start. But as I look at the next couple of days here, we're going to kind of take our temperatures for Monday, copy and repeat them on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. So it's going to be a very settled pattern for us this week. 32 degrees out the door tomorrow morning, though. We'll start to see the increasing clouds throughout your day tomorrow. The sunshine, that's going to go away for a little bit in our Monday, and then we'll get it back here into the midweek as we work our way through this extended forecast. Temps tomorrow, not too bad, low 50s, so closer to where we should be this time of year. Late shower zone, so after about 4 or 5 o'clock, we'll start to see that rainfall potential start to bump up for us across eastern North Carolina. So what I want to do is start you off here at about 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Notice the clouds that start to increase from the west to the east. We'll pick up on those throughout your day tomorrow. But the lack of rainfall is great news here for us as we head to about lunchtime. Not looking at any issues for your early start to the day tomorrow. Where we start to pick up on that next weather maker here is after about 4 or 5 o'clock. Isolated coverage, though. You see the entire map is not necessarily covered tomorrow afternoon. About half of us, honestly, there into your afternoon. There's 8 o'clock. You can see isolated showers. I think it's going to be just off and on. It's not going to be a widespread rain for us, and that continues here into the early morning hours on Tuesday. A couple lingering showers on Tuesday morning. I'm not necessarily buying any widespread coverage for that. And then look up to the north. Lots of sunshine back in the forecast after we get through this into your Tuesday. And then after that, we can sit back and relax here because we got more sunshine on the way for Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday looks really good. It's going to be seasonably cool, we'll call it, there in the mid-50s. Lots of sunshine on Thursday, Kate, and then those temperatures back to end our week in the upper 50s before we get a cold front into next weekend with just some isolated showers on Saturday.
Oh, I don't like the sound of a cold front, Anthony. Well, coming up next in sports, local NBA stars were in action this evening. Plus, we'll hear from the Washington football team about the status of next year's quarterback situation. Stay with us.
The Washington football team fell in a heartbreaking wild-card playoff loss at home last night to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 31-23. Former practice squad quarterback Taylor Heineke got the start for Washington with Alex Smith having a sore calf. He showed he knew the playbook last night, 306 yards passing and a score, and the team's leading rusher as well, 46 yards and a touchdown. A lot of questions next year for Washington at the quarterback position with Alex Smith and his injury situation. Head coach Ron Rivera says that these questions will be looked at this coming week.
We will get together tomorrow as coaches and we'll talk about doing our evaluations. I will visit with the owner at some point, whether it's tonight or tomorrow, and basically talk to him about my intent going forward. And from that point on, we'll start the evaluation process of our football team. And obviously the quarterback situation will be one of the topics of conversation.
That'll be a big question Washington fans will be looking forward to next year to get that answered. NFL wildcard playoff weekend continued today as the New Orleans Saints hosted Eastern Wayne's Jimmy Graham and the Chicago Bears. Look at that play. Last play of the game, absolutely ridiculous one-handed catch from Jimmy. Runs directly into the locker room afterwards because that score really doesn't matter. The Saints still got the win by the score of 21-9. The Tennessee Titans went up against the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs for the second year in a row. Tennessee won that game and the regular season matchup between these two teams earlier this year. But Lamar Jackson, 48-yard touchdown run for Jackson. Baltimore got the revenge win, 20-13 to move on to the next round. To the NBA, Kinston's Reggie Bullock and the New York Knicks hosted the Denver Nuggets this evening. There's Reggie from long range knocking down the triple. And then later, the Knicks work it around to Reggie again, and he knocks down the jumper. He only scored 7 points tonight, though, as the Knicks get blown out by Denver at home, 114-89. North Edge comes Montrezl Harrell, and the Los Angeles Lakers were on the road against the Houston Rockets this evening. Trez had a solid game coming off the bench for L.A., almost recording a double-double with 16 points and 8 rebounds. Lakers get the win, 120-102. And last night, Charlotte Hornets first-round draft pick LaMelo Ball made history in Buzz City's 113-105 home win against the Atlanta Hawks. At just 19 years old, Ball became the youngest player in NBA history ever to record a triple-double, 22 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists, coming off the bench no less. He thinks these feats don't faze him, and he expects greatness of himself.
Not really processed it yet. Probably when I look back on it, like after my career, I feel like probably when I'm like 40 or something, then probably look back at everything. I live my life, and I know what I'm capable of, so yeah, stuff doesn't really move me like that, that I know that's supposed to happen.
That's one confident rookie. Hornets now sit at 5-5 on the year. Finally, real quick, let's flash up the women's college basketball scores today. North Carolina gets the win at home. Virginia Tech loses narrowly. Wake Forest gets the win at home by 10. That is your take on sports. Anthony, back over to you, my friend.
Thank you, sir. And as we head into your Monday, guys, definitely going to want to keep the umbrella handy. We're talking some scattered showers and storms into your afternoon. Really not looking like a huge deal, but I definitely would keep the umbrella handy. The good news is it does not last long. We clear out into Tuesday afternoon, 54 degrees, kind of a copy and paste repeat forecast there for you. And sunshine, Kate, here as we head into Wednesday and Thursday.
Thanks, Anthony. Well, we have more News Channel 12 starting in just a half an hour. We hope you'll join us at 11 o'clock tonight.